the distinguished guest lecturer, and our esteemed resources. I want to just say that I and the staff will glean a lot of insight into the topic discussed this morning, that is transforming Nigeria, which is an imperative for combating contemporary security challenges. And we have a lot of taking notes, and we'll sit down in the staff cell and the earlier quarters to further refine them and put them into our books for implementation in the field. Quickly on some of the issues that have been raised, the Nigerian Army is more averse to some of the strategies and the policies being thrown out in the public space. Our experience is that most of these things, the implementation in the field is somewhat difficult. Now, for those who are familiar with the Northeastern environment, when I was posted to 93 Battalion in 1992, it was very easy driving from Maiduguri to Ukawa to Dumbali and follow that circular road back to Maiduguri in 3 hours. But today is impossible, completely impossible. And so governance at the local level is non-existent. And that is what is driving this security, not only in the Northeast, even in the Northeast and across the country. So the strategy from the guest lecturer about establishing developmental commissions for each of the regions, I am somewhat skeptical about it. Because why is it, like Lagbaja mentioned, if the challenge or the driver of insecurity is the elite, why is it that the elites are being resistant to the local government autonomy that people have talked about? And that is the surest way to bring development to the grassroots level, not by creating commission, not by establishing bureaucracy. We have already existing bureaucracy. Let us fund them and make them work. I went to Madari as a young officer and asking the ulamas in Madari, oh, where is this? And they claim that it's Chad. Madari is Chad. But they believe it's Chad because it is the Chadian government that was investing in Madari at that time. In 1996, April 1996, when we went to Boro camp in Bakassi Peninsula, most of the signposts you see around Boro camp, around Abana, Akabon, they are the signposts of primary health centers and agencies from Cameroon. So they believe that they were living in Cameroon, not in Nigeria. Until we take development to the grassroots, then we will not solve the problem of insecurity. Now, on funding, it's a big problem, but for every strategy to work, it must be feasible, it must be acceptable. Now, is it acceptable to stakeholders from the way they talk in the National Assembly to dedicate 10% to this development commission that we're talking about? I don't think they will accept it in the National Assembly. It will be shut down even at the first meeting. And so, if it's not acceptable, even if they increase the defense budget by 5%, looking at the value of money in time, inflation running at 35%, when I went before the National Assembly, the simple analogy I made was that in the 2023 budget, the provision for vehicles, tires, and spares was 1 billion naira for the Nigerian Army. And we were buying Toyota Hilux at 27 million naira. But by the time we were sitting to discuss the supplementary budget, Toyota Hilux had become 57 million naira. And so that's over 100% increase. So if you give me 5% increase in defense budget, it pales into nothing, because I cannot do anything about it. The budget 2023 was prepared at the exchange rate of 430 naira to a dollar. Before we started implementing it, the dollar had moved to about 1,600, 1,700 naira to a dollar, over 400% increase. And yet, so there's no amount of increase that the government can provide for the defense that will be a quick fix. So the main, and from the way our congressmen discuss, is that everybody is holding on to position. Which road are you going to pave in Nigeria? They say no, prorate it. It must be the same percentage to all geographical zones. It must be the same percentage to all states. And so we will not move forward. What I think is most important is how do we bring development to this crisis-hit region? If we have the road between Bama and Maiduguri, well tarred, and the road Maiduguri-Mongono, the road going to Damboa, going to Banki, then the military can operate, people can farm, and so that is a better whole of society, whole of government approach than most of these academic things and say we want development in the field. That will aid our operations, it will aid the agitators, and it will go a long way to subside the restlessness. The regulation of the media is not about censorship, but I think that the challenge there is in the age of the use of social media and the technology that is available to bypass most of these restrictions that could be placed by the government, and then the ownership of the well-established media itself in Nigeria. It is the big moguls that own the well-established media. Would they just be looking at it when they are the ones funding the political parties, when they are the ones in the government, and then say, go and regulate my business? So I don't think it will be acceptable to the. We may discuss it, but the implementation of the field will be very difficult. All in all, I would say that we have cleaned a lot, and we further discuss it, like I said, and put them into our books for implementation. Thank you very much.